In this video, we're going to go over the Access database. You're going to have a blank database, and in that database, the first thing you want to do is, after you open it, is just make sure you have it saved where you want it. So you remember your save as, and then where you can find it after you have completed the steps that you need to. All right, we're going to import data. So go on the ribbon to get external data. The import side is where you want to click on Excel. You're going to browse. You're going to find your Excel file, and you're going to import it into a new table. You have the Import Spreadsheet Wizard. You do want the first row to be the column headings. We're going to check these after we import them in as far as what the data types, so we'll let them default. We are going to choose our own primary key, which is going to be the customer number, and we will let it be called customer data. Hit finish, and the data is imported into the database from the Excel spreadsheet. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go to Home, and I'm going to go to the view. This is that view from in the design view now. This is the data view, right? Data sheet view. This is the design view. I'm going to look in here. I have two that defaulted to number, which is balance and amount paid. I'm going to change those to currency. Okay, and they're doing auto with the decimal places, so sometimes when you do from number, because of the formatting and decimal places, it has to do some adjustments. So I've got those in there. Okay, now I'm going to change back over. I'm going to save it. It does tell me that some is shorter, but that's okay because in the conversion we should still be fine because we looked at the data. All right, I'm going to look at that. I changed the balance and the amount paid. That looks fine. I'm going to close the table. Now I'm going to create a query. I'm going to go to Create, Query Wizard. I'm going to do a simple query wizard. I'm going to choose the customer name. I'm going to choose the balance. And I'm going to choose the sales rep number. Now, if you choose something and you change your mind or you didn't want it, you can always go back. So I want you to take the customer name and I want you to take it out. So we're going to do the balance and we'll do the sales rep number in this query. I'm going to go ahead and hit next and then next, and we are going to call the customer data query and we're going to hit finish. We now have all the balances and the sales rep number. Okay, I'm going to go into the design view. So I have to go to Home, and up in the corner, I'm going to toggle over to the design view of the query. Now remember, a query just points at the table. Okay, so anything you do with a query is just looking at the data. If you change the data in the table, the query automatically changes. In this query, I have balance and I have sales rep number. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change so that the balances can be totaled. So I'm going to go up here on the ribbon to where it says totals, and I see the little total sign and click. That gives me group by. I can drop that down and change it to sum under the balance. Okay, let's go ahead and check that first. I'm going to run it. Okay, and you will see that it automatically sums up the balances for each of the reps. Okay, I'm going to go back. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add another field. I'm going to add city. By double clicking, it adds city. I'm going to run it. All right, now you'll see that because I have city in there and there are numerous cities, that it can only sum up for each rep according to the cities as well. So it's like, think of it like a subsort. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take and select that column. And if I do a right click on it, okay, you'll see that you have the ability to go in and you could do totals and things here as well. But I'm going to go ahead and just select it and do delete on my keyboard and get rid of it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the state, drag it down, drop it. I'm going to run that. All right, so now I would have the balance by rep and state. So again, you would still have that subsort in there, but it would give you balances that way for, like, you know, North Carolina for 49, North Carolina for 44. So you would have each one once. It's a pretty small data set, so it's kind of hard to see how it's grouping and then grouping by sales rep and grouping by state, but it gives you like a grouping and then another subgrouping that way. All right, we're going to go ahead and stop here. We're going to close this, so save it, yes. If you wanted to go back into it and do something else, you could just double click. We're going to go up here and we're going to go back into the design view. And then for the sales rep, we're going to select 49 and we're going to run it. And you'll see it would then just give us the balances for sales rep number 49 for each of the 3 states that's in the data. We'll go ahead and close that, save it, say yes. Now we're going to create a form, and we're going to do that by going to Create, Form Wizard. Okay, again, once you've done the wizard once, they all look alike. So we want, this time, make sure here it's picking our query. I want you to change it to the table. And I want you to do a form for everything by doing the double arrow. And you can just click Finish. We now have a form that would let us scroll through the data if we wanted to look at something, or if we went all the way to the end, we could actually add new data into the table this way. Next, we're going to go to Create again. After we close this form, we're Create, and we're going to do the Report Wizard. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the customer table. We're going to pick, this time, the name, the state, the balance, and the rep number. We're going to hit Next and Next. We'll leave the defaults, and we are going to change the name this time to Customer Data, and we're going to call this Report. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and hit Finish, and you now have a report of the customer data. You can go ahead and close that. If you wanted to change a name after you've already created it, you could go back to the form, do a right click, do Rename, and we'll call this one Customer Data Form. All right, I'm going to go ahead now, go to File. I'm going to Compact and Repair, okay, and this just helps prevent things from, problems occurring. It kind of resets everything. Think of it almost like a, it puts everything back, so all the pointers and everything is in good shape so that nothing becomes corrupted. So it's kind of just one of those, good practice things. If you didn't do it, probably nothing would happen, especially in a really small data set. But the bigger the amount of data in there, the more important it is to do this. Otherwise, the size can grow of the amount of data it's storing in there, and it can really become corrupted very easily. So compact and repair. And we're ready to close our database.